Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's Ryan, or DeBoss, however you know me here. And I figured I'd do just a little bit of a discussion vlog with you guys here, or a talking video, or whatever you want to call it. Not really going to edit this one or anything else, but I just wanted to have a brief conversation with you guys and talk about something pretty cool that happened to me a little bit ago now. I'm surprised it took me this long to make a video on it, but it's actually fantastic that I had the opportunity to have this meeting with a good friend of mine, which I'll talk about. I'm sorry I haven't really been on the channel too much as of late, guys. I've been busy with school, with work, and all that usual stuff, and I'm getting pretty close at this point to finishing up a major accomplishment of mine that's been in the works for quite some time in terms of my schooling. So I'm getting pretty close to finishing up a master's program that I'm going through right now for my dream job. So that's pretty good too, I think. It's been a lot of work, but it's been pretty fun, actually. Obviously, it's not always easy, especially when you're balancing out so many things on life, but, you know. But yeah, that's how I've been doing, though. It's been pretty good at a lot of points, too. A good learning experience in the process. That being said, though, that's not the reason that you are probably watching this video, if you've seen the title. This is no joke. I had my first ever YouTuber meetup, and it's awesome because not everyone who makes content has this experience. Not everyone who makes videos for this long on the platform is genuinely passionate about what they do, and just doing it for this long has the opportunity to do a real-life YouTuber meetup for someone who's a smaller creator. So that's pretty awesome in itself. But this video is going to be a recap of my experience with meeting my buddy Patrick for the first time. Patrick, shout out to you if you're watching this video, man. Like I said, I'm surprised it took me this long to make a video on it, but yeah, so I met up. Patrick has been one of my long-running YouTube buddies since I think we met back in... Yeah, I met with my buddy Patrick for the first time, and it was fantastic because I've known Patrick since 2017, roughly, here on the platform. I've known quite a few YouTube friends of mine over the years. Goof Norton, Emilio from the Smelly Cheese YouTube channel, and a number of other YouTubers that I've gotten to know pretty personally over the years that I've done a lot of collaborations with, I've talked with. And Emilio especially, I've talked with him in the past about meeting up someday. Granted, and shout out to you, Emilio, if you're watching this too, he lives in Mexico. So, honestly, I don't know when that would even be possible in the future, but I would love to meet with him at some point too, or my buddy Goof, or anyone else I've really met in the platform. Jesse being someone else as well, but again, he lives in New Zealand, so there's some circumstances there that don't really allow for it. But my buddy Patrick messaged me a few months back. I think it was... oh, man. This is April, so I think he messaged me probably late last year, actually, asking me about this, late 2022, and he proposed the idea of us meeting up. Now, we live in two different states here on the East Coast. Patrick lives in North Carolina, and I live in Maryland. So there's quite a distance there between us, and honestly, with my schedule being the way it is, both then and now, going through this year-long program through my university, there was really zero chance I was going to have the time to drive or fly all that way down. Plus, I have other things that I'm doing in my own life as well. That being said, though, Patrick really wanted to see me, and it was honestly fantastic to even plan this out in the first place, to make this a reality, because again, not everybody has this opportunity to do this as a hobby, grow your channel in the small YouTuber community, and then meet with somebody who you've known just over the internet for years. So Patrick and I, we planned out a meeting spot, and we planned for it. It was back in March, actually, now. Early March, something along those lines. And Patrick made a weekend trip of it. He actually came up here. He drove 6 hours from North Carolina just to come and see me. 6 hours he drove non-stop to get here to see me, which is awesome in itself. Love you for that, Patrick. That's honestly awesome, bro. But we met up at a good local Italian restaurant that's not too far from me. It's about 10 to 15 minutes away. And I remember when I was going into it to meet with Patrick, I was kind of excited, but also nervous at the same time, because I've never done anything like this before when it comes to knowing somebody on YouTube. Because I never even thought it would be possible in the first place to really have this happen. Because everyone I've met on YouTube over the years, it's all been through online content. So to have that online landscape come into my real life, and to physically see somebody I've known on the platform for so long was Kind of nerve-wracking, but exciting at the same time, because I wasn't sure how it was going to go. And it wasn't because of Patrick per se either, because I've known Patrick for so long, I've gotten to know him fairly well. But it was still one of those things where, because it's a YouTube thing, not somebody who I've known since like first grade, like my best friend, for example, or my best friends. So it's a little bit different in that regard. But that being said, though, when I got there to the restaurant, Patrick was sitting there. He was so excited to see me, and I was excited to see him. And it was a fantastic meeting because when we went to this restaurant, we ate there, had some really good food and whatnot. Patrick got some, I think, white lasagna at the time, as well as I think I got a chicken parm Italian chicken parm sub or something along those lines. But we sat there and talked for quite a while, both about like YouTube content, stuff about our personal lives here and there, things that we liked, and just kind of introducing ourselves properly, I guess, in that case. And then Patrick was curious to see more of that area of Maryland, for example, where I was. So I figured, well, I guess I'm going to be your tour guide here for the trip, buddy. So I showed him around quite a few places within the city that we met up. And I showed him around some local game stores. I showed him around the local mall. And we just talked for hours and hung out that entire evening. And it was really fantastic because I was able to show him around an area or a state that he had never been to before. And it was awesome just even having this opportunity in the first place. But we hung out all night, and after Friday, because he was only here for the weekend for about 3 days, I wasn't able to meet up with him Saturday after we parted ways on Friday evening because I had work and other things. So he decided he drove around some other cities and areas around here to kind of get familiar with the area, kind of see the sights, because technically this is like a vacation trip for him too, if you want to call it that. Even though he did come up here to see myself and more of the area, he's still looking around even when we couldn't meet up. But we did meet up again on Sunday for the last time. And Sunday being a day where a lot of businesses are limited in their hours and everything else. Obviously, there wasn't really a ton that we could do. Even the mall, for example, was closed early by that point. A lot of restaurants and whatnot were closed. And we had talked about a lot of things that we could do. So we decided that for one last hangout for the weekend, because he had to head back down to North Carolina the next day, and again, that's a 6-hour drive. So we were kind of contemplating where we were going to go eat, and we narrowed it down between Buffalo Wild Wings and Olive Garden. Or not Olive Garden, Applebee's, actually, which are two of my favorite restaurants that are nearby. I like Buffalo Wild Wings for a hangout joint, to be honest, more than anything. The food there it's alright, but it's overpriced. But I do like Applebee's. It is pretty good food there, and it's reasonably priced for what it is. But we decided to meet up there. And when I got there to the Applebee's, when we met up there, we hung out there for hours. I mean, we met up, I think, around like 6 or 7 o'clock, something like that. And we didn't get out of there until 11:30. And by that point, we had ordered our food, our drinks, and everything else. I remember I specifically ordered like a whole meal of appetizers. And Patrick, who had been, unlike the Italian restaurant, he was more familiar with Applebee's. So he had a bunch of food that he already wanted to get. And we just sat there and just talked. We took some photos and whatnot together there because, again, we're two YouTubers meeting up for the first time. I mean, it's just a fantastic experience all around. But Patrick and I just talked for hours about all sorts of things. Once again, going into our own lives, talking about like the areas we're from, just, video games and that kind of thing. Just, it was awesome. And I was so proud to have that experience. And at the end of the night, Patrick and I parted ways. For the last time physically. Like, we still talked. Like, we've talked since then. And I've even done a few collaborations on his channel as well. But yeah, when we left each other that night, it was kind of emotional a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Because even though Patrick isn't someone who I've grown up with, because I have that reaction with people who I'm very close to, who are friends of mine, who I've known for a long time. It was crazy because Patrick has become a very good friend. Someone who I knew previously before we even met up in the first place. And then to meet a YouTuber for the first time, to even meet up, and he took this long journey just to meet me, to see me in person, was an awesome experience. And not everyone will get that chance or that experience. A lot of people may look down on YouTube and anything else, and yeah, I've made some dumb content myself over the years, but I am blessed for the opportunity that YouTube has given me. That everything that I have in my life I've earned, and I can safely say that with YouTube, all the content I've made, all the friends I've made over the years, to be able to do something that most people will never get to experience, whether they be a small creator with a a few hundred subscribers or a major creator with a few million. The fact that I was blessed with this opportunity to meet someone on YouTube on this platform that nobody thought I was going to succeed on in the beginning, back when I was in high school. To grow that much, to have the experiences and accomplishments that I've had online, and it building up to this, to being able to meet somebody I've known for so long online, a fellow content creator, it made it worth it. And there's so many of the people that I could possibly meet in the future. So many friends I have all over the world as a result. I don't regret YouTube. It's been a fantastic journey, and I wanted to chronicle this entire thing throughout this video for you guys in like a vlog style format to tell you guys, chase your dreams, live your inspirations, and make the most of the time that you have now. Pursue what you want to with your lives, because it might just pay off for you. So this was just my little vlog kind of summing up some of the hangouts that Patrick and I did when we met up. Check out Patrick's YouTube channel in the description. Patrick, it was awesome meeting you, man. I hope to see you again one day. And hopefully for a lot of my other YouTube friends, I'll be able to meet with you guys at some point in the future too. So I just wanted to talk about my first ever YouTuber meetup. It was something a lot of people won't get to do. Once in a lifetime experience, it feels like. But it was so awesome. And again, totally worth it with you, Patrick. So check him out in the description down below. Guys, thanks for watching this vlog, and I'm blessed with this opportunity. Thank you all very much. So until next time, guys, I'll see you next time on The Boss. See ya.